So welcome back to part 2 of my Core 21 spoilers and review list. I'll be taking you through yet another batch of 50 cards. So, you know, go get a drink, go get a snack, and we'll just go through these cards and then just enjoy the ride. So far this set is really shaping up to be something pretty special, but I don't want to labour the intro, let's just get straight into it. Hey, so before we get on with the rest of the video, if you consider liking the video, commenting the video, subscribing if you enjoyed it and hitting the bell icon, and also you could follow us on Facebook and Twitter if you enjoy magic memes, and also follow us on Twitch where you get to watch videos like this happen live. So yeah, let's just get on with it. So here's a cool card. I'm pretty sure this gets played in Amulet Titan, I think. But it's Radiant Fountain. This is a very nice common. Like, I think this is cool because the 2 life makes it like just an amount playable more than like the multicolored like comes in tapped. It doesn't come in tapped, you gain 2 life and it just taps for like a generic mana. I think this is like a totally playable card. Radiant Fountain, a nice C, a nice solid C, possibly B. Like if there's like a deck that doesn't like super require like exactly the mana you need at the exact fucking time, like super stringent, then yeah, totally good. I also like it because it can easily fit into that like life gain deck thing. This comes in, you gain 2 life and you fucking hit you, like it shocks your opponent as a land. That's really cool. I fucking like that a lot. So anyway, we've got Chandra Incinerator, which is a 6 mana, 6/6 red elemental creature, 5 and a red to cast, and it costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage dealt to your opponent this turn. So non-combat's like a bit iffy, because you don't tend to do that much non-combat in current mono red. Maybe in like previous rotations, like last year's standard, like you do a lot of non-combat damage. Point is though, this can be a 1 mana 6/6, and that's fucking good. So it's got trample as well, which is like, that's really nice. Anyway though, so whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to the opponent, this card deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. I feel like this card's like super balanced. Yeah, that's quite nice because like hit for non-combat and then this becomes removal for the other problems for like your opponent swinging back or anything like that. This card is pretty decent. The problem being is that I don't see how this fits into current red. I just don't like big red. Is it maybe they're bringing back some kind of big red, I guess, but in current mono red this doesn't really have a space. But this definitely seems like a solid C card to me. Like again, C is like totally playable, and this just seems like it fits perfectly into C. Now we've got Chandra Heart of Fire, so I'm pretty sure this is a reprint, I'm sure. And it's a 5 mana red Chandra Planeswalker, comes in with 5 loyalty. And +1, discard your hand, and then exile the top 3 cards of the library, and then you can... So it's like a big light up the stage, that's alright. However, 5 mana in red, it just seems to completely go against what red has been doing for like the past 2 fucking years. So, I guess if they're able to somehow have an amount of cards that facilitates a big red type deck, then cool. I quite like big red. And, I mean, that's fine, but I also like how its uptick is like a shock. That's quite nice as well, but is it a B? Like, where do we place this card? Because I just can't tell. It's either C or a B. It depends on if the environment's good for it, then I can definitely see B. Current environment is like super slow, so like potentially post rotation all these cards get like really good. I'm putting my foot down with this. I'm gonna say this is a C. It could go up to a B, but current standard, when it hits, I'm saying C. Okay, so now we've got Chandra's Magmutt, just another specifically Chandra card, but yeah, I guess there is like a whole bunch of like Teferi's X, Chandra's X, so I see what they're doing with this set. Okay, anyway, so this is a 2 mana 2/2 red elemental dog, and it comes in and you tap it and it deals 1 damage to target player planes. This seems kind of, I mean, I guess for a common it's okay, but I'm feeling a D here, right? It's just, see if it had haste, it'd be like really fucking good. This could have haste and it wouldn't even be busted. Yeah, you know, I think it might be E actually. Yeah, no, actually, I think you're right. Like, what the fuck is it? What is it doing? Yeah, it's terrible. It's fun. So we've got Chandra's Pyreling, right? So this is a 2 mana 1/3 red elemental lizard, and whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, this gets +1/+0 and gains double strike to the end of the turn. So this is like a non-flying 2-mana version of Chandra's like bird thing. This seems okay, actually. Like for 2 mana, and it does activate its yeah, it's just, this just seems like a Spitfire, except it's got double strike. I mean, it's probably, it's like better and worse than Spitfire, right? Like at the same time, because it gains double strike, so it can do a bunch of damage, but also like doesn't have flying, and it's not 3 at a time. So, but it's only 2 mana, so this seems to be just as good as Chandra Spitfire, and I quite like that. So this seems like a solid, at the very least, C to me, because it's absolutely playable. Like you do play this in Cavalcade, like you wouldn't not play it. So right, so here we go. This is a card that I think has to see play, right? This card is like really, really nutty. And it's Basri's Lieutenant, and this is a 4 mana white human knight creature, and it's 3 and a white to cast, and it comes in with Vigilance and Protection from Multicolored. That's sick off the bat for 4 mana, right? But then it's got 2 other effects. So when it enters battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So you can put it on itself, so it can become a 4 mana 4/5, which is like fairly on curve. But then you could also have well, its next effect is when this or another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, create a 2/2 white knight with token vigilance. I think that's really, really sick. I think this is insane. I think this is right. So think about it this way, right? This makes Loxodon amazing, right? So you go turn 4 Lieutenant, and then you need 5 other guys, right? Or 4 other guys, which is doable on turn 4. And then you go Loxodon, give everything a +1, and then you can just start swinging in, and you don't give a single fuck. I think this card is like absolutely playable. I think it's like a really nice top end for like White Weenie or whatever. Along the lines of like the other white guy. So yeah, I could definitely see this being played. Especially Protection from Multicolored. This can just swing past your opponent's stuff sometimes. That's crazy. And it's got Vigilance. So yeah, really cool card. Where are we putting it? I want to say like low B, high C. So it's not so objectively good as this white guy, so I'm going to put it in C. But again, C is filled with a bunch of cards that are pretty good. Alright, next card is Basri's Acolyte. So this is again part of the whole like Planeswalk, like X Planeswalkers something or other. And it's a 4 mana, 2/3 white cat cleric, 2 and 2 white to cast, and it's got lifelink off the bat. And then when it enters battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures you control. For 4 mana, this I get that this is meant to work with that other like card, but I think this is just like it costs kind of too much and doesn't really do much after that. However, I do think that this is a really solid draft pick, like really solid. And plus it's only like a common, so you can't like really hold up to extremely stringent standards, but I think this does just go down into D tier. For 4 mana, especially compared to like another card that we're going to get to, it's kind of like so extremely outclassed by it. So into D it goes. Here's a card that I was actually talking about, Basri's Solidarity. How is this card seems fucked to me. This is insane. Like nothing gives this amount of value, right? Like nothing. 2 mana, put a +1/+1 on everything? That's crazy. It's not even like they get it till the end of the turn. There's so many cards like this, but this outclasses so many of them. Like, this is nutty. I don't know, like, if you can tell me if there's other cards that are like this that are better or worse, but this just seems to be the best one. Like, so yeah, I think this card is really, really good. At the very least, C. This is like for what it does and for the amount of mana, like this seems like possibly B. But yeah, this card's like really, really fucking good. Stick it in C, just be sure. But yeah, Basri's Solidarity, fucking good card, especially in conjunction with this guy. It just means like all your guys essentially, like especially in White Weenie, right? So think about it. You go +1/+1 on everything, and if they're all like 1/1s, then whatever. Another cool thing is you can combo this with a Sack Dog. So you bring this in and put a +1 on this, and then this can sack itself, give this thing indestructible, and then it creates a fucking a knight with vigilance. That's fucking crazy. So now we're on to another planeswalker. I don't know if this guy already exists within the lore, and I also don't care that much, but like, it is cool. So we've got a 3 mana white planeswalker. Comes in with 3 loyalty, and uptick, put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 target creature. It gains wow. Holy fuck. Alright, that's pretty good. Whenever 1 or more non-token creatures attack this turn, create that many... What?! This card's fucking mental! I like this kit. What the? This card's insane. What the fuck? Right. Just think about this for a fucking second, by the way. Right. So you go, turn 1, play a guy. Turn 2, play 2 guys. Weenie, right? Turn 3, play this. Down ticket. And then you're swinging in with 6 cunts. Like, comparing to all this stuff, like, for the deck that it gets played in, like, this is absolutely mental. Puts down so much pressure, it's like super early, and your opponent like needs to answer it. And by that point, they're like really on the back foot. So yeah, I think this card is like super good. I like it a lot. Alright, okay, so we have Solemn Simulacrum. Yep, Simulacrum. And it is a 4 mana colorless 2/2 golem creature, artifact creature, so that's pretty good. So when it enters the battlefield, you search the library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. I don't know why, then shuffle your library, of course, like it's pure redundant text. And then when it dies, you draw a card. So this card like seems extremely good to me. However, I feel that it's much better in Historic, where like Golos Field, like this seems like it fits perfectly into Golos Field. I'm not really sure where this fits in Standard, but like it is an extremely good card. Like it definitely goes in some kind of ramp thing somewhere, right? And the fact that it like replaces itself when it dies just means that it is cool. You've got your fucking value out of it, easy peasy. This card's very, very good. I think this is easily like a solid B, and I know that it gets played in Modern as well, so yeah. Very, very good card. Really, really liking it a lot. This card is insanity. I actually can't believe they printed this card, because this card is so incredibly good. 1 mana, sack a guy, draw 2. It's not sacrifice a non-token, or like it's a sorcery. It is a 1 mana black instant. I honestly, I can't actually, because this like straight up power creeps so many cards. So, this is better than Costly Plunder. And I loved Costly Plunder to begin with, but you need to remember, 1 mana versus 2 mana is, the difference is in like unbelievable. And this can't really get better, like realistically speaking. Like, I almost hate that they made this, because it means there's no room to improve on this kind of card's formula. And this could have been 1 mana, sack a guy, draw 1 card, and it'd still have been fucking amazing. So, yeah. I want to say this card is S tier, personally, because it's the best version of whatever the fuck it is, and it's only a common. But I know for a fact it's not like destroyed, like busting the meta open. It's not like this. Okay, let's put the shark up. Why is this not in D? Right, so, although it does have hexproof, but it's super fucking expensive and doesn't do anything otherwise, so D. But I really feel like this, the Village Rites card, absolute A tier. Absolutely. Like, there's no way I'm playing that in every fucking sack deck that exists. Like, it's so fucking good. Alright, next card is Pestilent Haze, which is, it's funny, we're going to get to something here. So, it is a 3 mana black sorcery, 1 and 2 black to cast. And, choose one, right? All creatures get -2/-2 till end of turn, or remove 2 loyalty counters from each planeswalker. I think this card is, like, really, really good. It's, like, a little bit more of a slightly more versatile Cry of the Canarium. Now, remembering, like, Cry of the Canarium does exile everything. However, I think that, like, it's a fine alternative to have. And cards that give you choices, I do feel are just kind of like a little bit better than like the similar card with a slightly buffed effect of one of them. So I think Pestilent Haze is like a really solid card. I kind of want to say it's B just because it's like super versatile, like side, can be mained on like certain matchups. It is a C, like it is a C card. You could probably argue for B somewhere, but into C it goes, and I'm totally fine with that. It's a very good card, and I like it a lot. Alright, so the next card we're looking at is Massacre Wurm. Right, so people keep telling me this card is really, really good, and it's not that I don't believe them. I guess maybe I'm just, like, I've never experienced what this card does, because a lot of times you read it and you go, like, you kind of have to be playing it to really get it, but I just don't see what Massacre Wurm really does that's better than Massacre Girl. And it's also 6 mana, and if you're playing it on 6 mana, they're probably going to have bigger guys anyway. And if you're playing it against mono red, Annex is a thing, so that it doesn't really hit them that hard. Like, why is this that great? I just don't get it. So, admittedly, like, you know, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, it loses 2 life. Like, that is good, but again, it's 6 mana. Like, it just doesn't seem that great to me. But it's also not terrible, which is why I think it's like a perfectly like fine C card. But I can't justify this being a B when it doesn't really do that much. Like Massacre Girl, like it's like that's like straight, like if the curve is right, it just nukes the fucking board in its entirety. Now admittedly, this is one-sided, so under certain matchups, under certain formats, this could easily be a B card. But I think currently it is just a C card. So that is what it is, and that is my shitty opinion. I think the biggest issue that I'm having here is it's like a mythic, but it just doesn't seem to really do that much compared to what I feel like mythics should be doing. Like this could be a rare. Like, do you see what I mean? Like it just seems like if we're like comparing rarities, like Dream Trawler seems way better than this. Anyway, Angelic Acension. So we've got a 2 mana white instant, exile target creature, planeswalker. Its controller creates a 4/4 white angel. This seems pretty good, right? So the problem that I have with this is like, right, okay, so you get rid of like a Questing Beast as an example, but then they just have like a 4/4 flyer anyway, so it's like not really that big a... And then like hitting planeswalkers admittedly is nice, but... Oh god, it just gives them something that's just like a little bit too good. Now the thing is, you can exile your own creature or planeswalker and create an angel. So that brings a little bit of versatility to this card, which is quite nice. I think it is a C. Like, I don't know where it comes up, but it's like it is a hard card to place. It certainly is. So the next card is Lower Scale Quattle, and it is a 3 mana 2/2 snake creature, 1 and a green and a blue to cast. Whenever you draw a card, you can put a 1/1 counter on this card. It just seems kind of shitty, right? Like, I think this is actually really decent in draft, like super decent, because it's like every turn it gets bigger. If you've got a little bit of draw power, it gets even bigger. So it's something that your opponent needs to deal with in draft, but I think ultimately it's like a D tier. So here's a good card. I'm pretty sure this is a reprint. It's Cultivate, right? So let's just take this in for a second. It is a 3 mana green sorcery, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped, and then put the other into your hand, and then a bit of redundant text. That's really good. 3 mana, it's like, what should we call it? So it's kind of like an even cheaper migration path that like sort of does the same thing, but not really, but it's also just more of that kind of card. So yeah, Cultivate, absolutely good. Can easily... It's like B or C, right? I'm not really sure where I'd place it specifically, but it's at the very least C. At the very fucking least. The next card we've got is Archdemon's Vessel, and it is a 1 mana black 1/1 human cleric creature with lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield, if it entered from your graveyard or was cast from your graveyard, exile, and if you do, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. So This is obviously like abusable in some way, but I have absolutely no idea how. Oh, wait, I do know how. Oh, this card's really kind of funny. So you can play this in like Black Sacrifice, and then use that Call of the Death Dweller card and bring this back, and then you can exile it, just turn it into a demon. So yeah, I think this is like, I think the card is ultimately bad because it just doesn't really do anything, and you need to like base a whole deck around it. But it's really cool. I think ultimately it is a D, but it's a hilarious D. Alright, so the next card is Pursued Whale. It's a nice Moby Dick reference here for sure, right? The art's really nice, I like that a lot. But anyway, so it is a 7 mana blue 8/8 whale creature, and when it enters battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 red pirate creature with this creature can't block, okay? And creatures you control must attack each combat if able. So, and then spells your opponents so it costs 3 more to like target it. This doesn't really seem like good at all. Like this is meant to be good. Like, what is this? This is a fucking terrible rare. Like, just because it's a 7 mana 8/8, like, I get that the point is you play it and then your opponent attacks with everything, and then you can like block the whale into one of the things that they have. But who gives a fuck? That's dog shit. This is like maybe good in draft, maybe. It lets you do the swing back, sure, but yeah, I'm putting this straight in a D. Like, its uses are extremely limited. Okay, cool. So here we've got Pride Malkin, which is a cat creature, which we needed. Okay, so it is a 3 mana green 2/1 cat creature, and it's 2 and a green to cast. So for 3 mana, a 2/1 seems pretty bad, but it enters battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, and then each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has trample. Interesting, actually. That's quite interesting. Okay, it is dog shit, just saying, but I like the fact that you can go like, give something trample, and it's like a body end of its own. So it goes into D, because even if you put the 1/1 on itself, it's a 3/2 with trample, which is still bad. You put the 1/1 on something big that doesn't have trample, but even then, that's like just okay, really. I'm going to be putting Pride Malkin. I mean, who knows, this might fit into the cat dog deck pretty well, but this just does seem like a D. And it is a common, so like, a lot of commons are going to be D. Okay, Stormwing's Presence. This is a 5 mana 3/3 blue elemental creature, and this costs 3 less basically to cast if you've cast instant or sorcery this turn. So it's a 2 mana 3/3 with flying, but it also has prowess, and it comes in and it scries too. So this to me feels like it fits straight into that kind of Jeskai, or like Jeskai, or is it, or fucking whatever, like a Zorace or whatever. It seems like it fits perfectly into that. So this is just basically a 2 mana 3/3 with flying, but also with prowess, and it scries too when it comes in. And that seems like a pretty good for 2 mana. Like if there's a 2 mana, like if there's a 2 mana card that just said that, of course you'd fucking play it. So yeah, Stormwing's Presence seems pretty good. Seems like a solid C to me. Jolrael Mwonvuli Recluse. Thanks whoever the fuck named that. It is a legendary 2 mana green 1/2 human druid creature, and whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 green cat creature token. So I think that's kind of cool. Like, that's like really good, but like the double draw cards have been like red and blue so far, so I really don't see where the fuck this fits in, which is like the disappointing part about all of it. And then for 6 mana, until the end of the turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So like, yeah, for 2 mana this card does seem to do quite a lot. Especially if you go turn 3, play this, and then like something that draws a card and then create a cat. That's pretty decent. However, this dies to shock and other very small removal, like, so easily. Honestly, I think this could have done with being like a 1/3, and it would have been so infinitely more playable and been fine for 2 mana, I think, but it is what it is. It's an interesting card for sure, but it's hard to place. But I think it's still a C regardless. Like, it's definitely not D tier by any stretch of the imagination. The next card on the list is Soulseer, and this is a 3 mana red instant, and it deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and then that parent loses indestructible to end of the turn. I think this card is, like, super sick, right? So, like, the fact that things lose indestructible, I mean, here's the thing, there's not a whole lot that has indestructible, but I feel that this probably has, like, a whole bunch of applications outside of standard. However, I just think that, like, 5 damage, creature or planeswalker, this becomes, like, really solid sideboard removal. It's probably going to replace, like, shit like Lava Coil and things like that. So, and I think because of that, it safely goes into C. I kind of, like, I almost want to say this goes into B because it hits planeswalkers. Things lose indestructible. This feels correct to me because of that clause. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so now we've got Direfeet Warbringer. God, we're so close to the end. Right, okay, so this is a 3 mana black red 3/3 orc pirate creature, and it's 1 black and red to cast. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, this gets +2/+2 and trample to the end of the turn. So it's like okay, it's just kind of okay. The problem I have with it is, like, you know, you don't gain any cards. If it was like you draw a card, I'd be like super into it, and yeah, you can like sack a token, but it just becomes bigger. It doesn't have haste or anything like that. It's just a beater, and that's kind of as far as it goes, and I don't think that's really worth it. Kind of feeling this is like D. There's just way better sack outlets, frankly. Right, so the next card, I've not seen this. So it's called Increased Vitality. So this is a 3 mana green instant, 2 and a green to cast, and put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then double the number. Holy fuck. Oh, this card seems really good. What the fuck? Holy shit, this card seems insane. Right. Yeah, I like this card a lot. I think this goes into C. This definitely has like an amount of just like, I'm a big guy applications, so yeah, I am going to put this straight into C. So here's a card that I really can't place. It's called Idle Endurance, and this is a 3 mana white artifact. When it enters battlefield, exile all creature cards with mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard until this leaves the battlefield, so then they return, I guess. And then pay 1 and a white, and then tap it. Until the end of turn, you may cast a creature spell from among the cards without paying its mana cost. Let's go to the comments and see if this has any kind of application that means anything, because it seems like it's just so awkward for what it does. I just think that this card is like way too awkward to play. It's like super slow. And then it exiles what's only currently in the graveyard as well. Exile creature cards, yeah, it's when it enters. So like, you're playing it like late game, but you want to get it off early. This seems so fucking awkward. I'm gonna just stick this straight into D. Okay, so here's a fucking card that makes no sense. Volcanic Salvo. It is a 12 mana red sorcery. This spell costs X less to cast for X the total power of creatures you control. So like, we go on the best case scenario, this is 2 mana, right? I don't know how early you can get 10 worth of power on the board with mono red, but whatever. It deals 6 damage to up to 2 creatures and or planeswalkers of your choice. Not being able to hit face obviously hurts this a lot, but I mean, going 6 to face is insane, but it's so intensely slow. So intensely slow. So let's just say it costs like 4 mana, which means that you need 8 worth of guys. So can you get 8 worth of power by turn 4 easily? Let's think. So like, Fervent. So like, that's 3 plus Annex is just 6. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess with Annex, this makes it fairly possible that you can go turn 4 but then it doesn't hit face, and it's just like weird shit removal that red doesn't give a fuck about anyway, so yeah, Volcanic Salvo seems quite intensely bad, to be honest. I almost want to put this in E tier, like I just don't see how this is even fucking like remotely usable. So here we got Heroic Intervention. What a fucking reprint this is. So it's a 2 mana green instant, right? 1 in a green, permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible till the end of the turn. Crazy! This card's absolutely nuts. I don't understand why this isn't a white card. Like this in green just makes like no sense to me. Straight into S tier. Yeah, I think you might be right. Like, not only that, this card is this is like a 15 quid card or some shit. So gets reprinted. Get as many of these as you can. Hold on to it for a year and flip them. If you don't put this in S tier, I'll apologize. Okay, so we've got Obsessive Stitcher. This is a 3 mana 0/3 human wizard, and doesn't have haste, but whatever. So it's tap it. Don't need to pay anything. Just tap it. Draw a card. Discard a card. That's quite nice. It's okay. And then you've got pay 2 and a blue and a black. Tap it. Sacrifice this card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the back. Wow. Wow. Holy fuck. This card's really cool. It is slow as fuck though, but it is really cool. Oh, I don't know where to play. I think this can go and see because it clearly has very solid applications. I just hate the fact this like doesn't do anything immediately. But see if this done something as soon as it came in, like it comes in and then does that, or like it comes in you can sack it or something like B tier. But I think a solid C. It makes sense. It's clearly in with all the other C cards. Okay, so last card, we've got Grasp of Darkness, which is a 2 mana black instant creature, and target creature gets -4/-4 till the end of the turn. So it's kind of like Dismember, right? But you actually need to pay mana for it. But yeah, this card seems pretty decent, but like you would just rather play Heartless Act. Like it's just outclassed by Heartless Act, like in its entirety. So I think this just goes straight at, like, it's like a fine draft pick, but it's straight in D, because it doesn't do anything otherwise. So the next card we've got to deal with is a card called Alpine Houndmaster, right? And this is a 2 mana 2/2 human warrior, and it's red and a white. I've noticed that like a lot of cards are just like a red and white mana cost tend to like, that's how they balance it, but to be fair, this card isn't that great anyway. But anyway, when enters battlefield, you search the library for a card named Alpine Watchdog and or a card named Ingenious Cur. Reveal them, put them in your hand, and shuffle your library. So immediately this card comes in, and then it's a +2, so that's quite good. Although that's like less of an upside in Magic than it is in Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's still like a good effect. Like it still gives you cards to play about with. And then also, when it attacks, it gets +X/+0 to the end of the turn, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. So that's like, it's like if you have like a big board, then yeah, like I mean, it's pretty good for an uncommon. The thing is though, is like, is this going to be especially good in draft, because you have to get all 3 of them to actually get it to work. Only time will tell, and I doubt a deck is going to be based around this, but at the very least this can fit into the dog deck, because you just search dogs, so it gives you dogs to play about with. It's probably a C, right? Like, it's hardly D, like its effect is objectively good, so I guess it is what it is. It can't, like, it'll be played in a dog deck of some description. Now, bearing in mind that a lot of the mythics and the rares have been announced at this point, I think there's like either half or like a third left of them to go, so a lot of the cards are going to be kind of get shittier as you go along, but fucking hell, this card sucks so much, man. It's a 5 mana artifact. When it enters battlefield, it shocks any target, okay, and then it lets you add 1 mana of any color. This card is fucking atrocious. I would never take this in draft. I would never take this in anything. Like how do you get value out of this card? I have no idea. But this card is going straight into E tier. It's so highly costed. This could be like 3 mana and it'd be like, yeah, you know what, cool, it's got 5 fucking mana. Or if it added 2 mana of any colour, you know, you could maybe get away with it, but fuck no, 5 mana. Get yourself to fuck. Right, so the next card we got is Traitorous Greed. I don't know if I've read this one, so it is a 4 mana red sorcery, 3 and a red to cast. Gain control of target creature till the end of turn, untap it. It gains haste till the end of turn, right? Add 2 mana. What? Sorry, this card's mental. This card's really fucking good. Holy shit, this is really decent. Yeah, I like this a lot because, like, Act of Treason's obviously very good, but having the extra mana to then play about with, like, if part of that mana just allows you to play, like, an oven or something on that turn, like, holy shit, this card's actually sick. I really like Traitorous Greed a lot. I don't know if you could say it's, like, B tier. That is, you know, that might be pushing it a bit much, but, I think we can safely say that this Treachery card is, at the very least, C. Like, it's very borderline into B. Its effect is, like, super strong. It's like a 2 mana, like, steal effect, but you can use it in turn 4. Like, I quite like these things, yeah. Now we're on to Garruk's Uprising, and this is a 3 mana enchantment, which is right on the money. I don't really like spending any more than that on any enchantments, but when it enters battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Now, on turn 3, that's not likely to happen, but that's still fine. It's still, like, a decent effect overall. Creatures you control have trample, which is very nice and green. There's a lot of things that you definitely want to have trample. And when a creature with power 4 or greater enters battlefield under your control, draw a card. I think this card is really, really good. It's very nice coming down turn 3 or potentially turn 2. And then, bang, like, you're just gaining advantage for every guy that you're playing. Your opponent might not have, like, a grip on the game yet. I think this is, like, a really good option in, like, obviously some kind of fucking stompy deck, right? But the fact that it allows you to maintain getting your creatures, like, out there and replace himself, that's, like, huge. So, yeah, this card's, like, really, really decent. I'll take the chance and say this one's a B, because I just don't see, like, I would absolutely play this every single time. Like, it's just so, so good to me, right? So the next card on the list we've got is Warden of the Woods, and it is a 6 mana, 5/7 tree folk creature with Vigilance, and whenever it becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, you may draw 2 cards. So, I think this is probably really good in draft, for sure. Like, if your opponent tries to out it, you get to draw 2 cards, so you're getting your money back for it. But this is seeing absolutely zero play outside that. Like, 6 mana for a guy, like, if I'm paying 6, like, I could pay 5 mana for, there we go, Elder Gargaroth, so I could be paying 5 mana for this thing, or 6 mana for the Tree Folk. So this Tree Folk guy is going straight into E. Anyway, moving on to Light of Promise, which is a 3 mana white enchantment aura, enchant creature, and whenever you gain life, put that many +1s on the creature. Right, I actually really like this card a lot. Like, this seems kind of fucking crazy, to be honest. The issue with it is it's just, like, make creature big, right? And that's, like, a bit of an issue. Now, I could see, like, some kind of, like, Selesnya Stompy thing going on. You gain a bit of life, and then you put this on a guy with trample or some shit, but it turns every creature into, like, some insane pride, mate. I think if this was 2 mana, it would be, like, crazy good, but ultimately, I think Light of Promise needs to go and see. It's definitely not a bad effect by any stretch of the imagination, and I think it's probably abusable in some way, but nothing particularly competitive, because unless you're making a giant guy with trample, it is what it is. Alright, another uncommon. It's a 2 mana blue enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can have Riddle Form become a 3/3 Sphinx creature with flying, in addition to its other types, and then you can pay 3 and scry 1. This card's kind of dog shit. This card's really, really bad. It's just a 2 mana 3/3 that, I guess, like, avoids removal, I suppose. These kind of things, like, literally never see play, like, under any kind of format, so this is going straight into E. Right, so we've got a common here. It's a 2 mana blue instant. Another counter spell. Okay, counter target spell unless its controller plays 1. That's okay. If you control a creature with flying, counter target spell unless its controller plays 4. So it's a bad quench. That's what this is. It's just an objectively bad quench, actually. If you control a flying, it's like a better quench, but I really don't like that. Having to have a guy on board just seems kind of against control-y type plays. I guess it's like a tempo card, but like flyer tempo. Admittedly, this card does have some kind of niche where it becomes, because quench has like a drop-off past a certain point. This, however, extends that point quite significantly. So, you know, right, I'm going to bump up to C. Because that extension means that it's less dead the further into the game. So, okay. Okay. Right, so we've got a new druid for the... we've got a new elemental to go along with all the elementals we currently have. And this is Vengeful Leafkin. And this is a 4 mana green-red elemental druid. 4/3, so stats are alright. And you can tap it and add green for each creature of power 4 or greater you control. So, at the very least, it taps for at least 1. However, this card does seem kind of slow to me, and you can pay 8, and it deals damage equal to its power to target player or planeswalker. So, you can pay 8 to deal 4 damage, which I guess is like pretty decent at some point. I'm kind of torn on this card, but it seems too highly costed for what it does. I think I'm feeling D for this. It very well could be bumped up to C, like, being an elemental, it can fit into all the other elemental things, and elementals ramp fairly well currently, but post-rotation you end up losing Risen Reef, which makes this significantly worse, so yeah, I'm feeling a D for now. But yeah, okay, so moving on is Conspicuous Snoop, which is a new rare, and it is a 2 mana 2/2 Goblin Rogue, and it's 2 red to cast it, and then you play with the top of your card, the top card of your library revealed, and then you may cast Goblin spells from the top of your library, so I guess it's one of those kind of like hand extendy cards, and as long as the top of your card is a Goblin card, it has all activated abilities of that card. So apparently you're saying that this card is like broken in some way, but to me this is probably really good outside of standard. There's just nothing especially great in standard just now, but ultimately this card is like obviously has an amount of good applications. This is going to break goblins in Modern and Legacy. Really? If Kiki is the top card of your library, then it can make a copy of itself. And that copy can make a copy of itself. I need to look up this Kiki Goblin. Create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control. That's so funny. Just go bang, 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 bang. The thing is, though, is you just make a billion goblins that all... So you just make like 1,000 copies of Conspicuous Snoop, and then next turn kill them, right? Like, that's just what you do. In the standard, like, meta, like, the thing is that it is just a D. Like, what goblin tribal shit? Like, even Krenko is still pretty bad. So, sadly, Snoop inputting straight into D, but this is only because this is for standard. So now we've got Dozen Pteranodon. It's just a common, so we don't need to spend too much time on it, but it is a 2 mana 3/3 green dinosaur creature with Defender. Right, so into the trash it goes. This creature can attack as though it didn't have Defender if you control a creature with player 4 greater. Ah, dog shit. Into D. Or E. Yeah, into E. We don't fuck with Defender on this channel. Moving on to Bramblefist Oak. So we've got another Tree Folk card, and this one's so this is a 4 mana 2/3 green Tree Folk, and whenever you draw a card, it gets +2 till end of turn. This is extremely bad as well. I think this is a difficult draft pick also. Ultimately, I think this card probably goes into E as well. Like, it doesn't really do anything exciting. It's like a slow, big-ish body. Here's a pretty cool card. I mean, this card is literally already a Yu-Gi-Oh card, but it's a Frantic Inventory, and it is a 2-mana blue instant, draw a card, and then draw cards equal to the number of cards named Frantic Inventory in your graveyard. So this is like a slightly worse version of that that Anticipate-esque card. So, you know, initially you're thinking, right, what you do is you play this and then you use Vadrock and cast it from the grave. And admittedly that lets you draw 2, but like that, you know, it requires like setting up and putting cards in the grave and shit like that, which is like not impossible, and being an instant it's a little bit more flexible, but I think I would still just rather the Anticipate-esque card over this. This is still pretty good though, and I think this probably will see it actually might see some play. I think this can go into C, to be honest. Like, it's definitely got applications, especially in like self-mill decks. So if you've got like a kind of, I mill myself and mill you, but I need cards, this is a great way of filling up. So for sure, I quite like it. So here's a card, Transmogrify. Now I'm not sure if this card already exists or not. I feel like it might, but it is a 4-mana red sorcery. Exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal a creature card. That player puts the card onto the battlefield and then shuffles the rest of the library. So this is just Luca on a sorcery, and that's pretty good to me. I mean, Luca is 5 mana, and this is 4 mana. Yeah, I mean, this card is, like, obviously decent. There's just no way about it. This is an easy C, arguably B, given the current climate. Oh, the only card I've got is Dream Trawler. Good, get it early. Like, sick. Thing is, though, is Luca is better at doing that. So, I think because of Luca, it makes this card a C, but by all means, I think this card will probably see an amount of play in some deck. Right, so next we've got Goblin Arsonist, which is literally Footlight Fiend, except it's optional. That is the difference. And I guess Footlight Fiend's a good card, so yeah. So I guess it goes into C. This is a playable card. We know this is a playable card, so there's no real way about it. Into C it goes. Next card is Heartfire Immolator. Right, so we've got a 2-mana red 2/2 human wizard. And it's got Prowess, which, again, it's just tons of cards with Prowess. There's no way Monastery Swift Spear isn't coming back. Or Monastery Mentor, sorry. Anyway, so you can pay a red and then sacrifice Heartfire Immolator, and it deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. I think this is like an okay draft pick. However, I mean, actually, like, the Prowess is kind of interesting with this. God, see if it could hit face, it'd be, like, insane. It would honestly be so good. So it's kind of like semi-removal as well. I find it hard to make this. I don't think this is a D card. I think this is like very interesting and like semi-useful. But I think C is fine. I think I need to bump Baneslayer up to C. Like, it just has so many keywords. Here we go, Hellkite Punisher, which is a 7-mana red 6/6 dragon with flying. So that's like perfectly what you'd expect in terms of stats. You can pay 1 red and it gets +1 to the turn. So I mean, so it's just one. Does this card not already exist? Like, it's literally just Sheevan Dragon, but costs 1 more and has 1 more attack and defense. I mean, I doubt it's going to see play. It kind of feels like a D to me. So here's a card that I extremely wish was not a mythic. Like, this is really, really irritating because it definitely seems that they're pushing for like a big red thing going, and that's fine. Like, I'm fine with that, but this is such a waste of a mythic slot. Like, come on to fuck. Point is though, it is a pretty strong card. So it's a 6-mana red enchantment, 3 and 3 red to cast. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to the permanent or player. So like, yeah, it means you only need to do what? 7 damage now to kill someone with this card. I mean, that's pretty good. So it's at least C. There's no way you could say it's any less than C. But C cards for a mythic is a bit meh. It's just so highly costed. But I think that when you play this on turn 6, you're then definitely winning on turn 7. I think this will see play in Standard, especially post-rotation. I can see this card actually being pretty decent, but on release, I think it's a C. Because you can kill people by faster than this playing mono red, so Right, so this just goes straight into E. Like, don't even speak about this. It's just a guy and a bad guy at that. So next we've got Ingenious Curb, which is one of the cards that was able to be searched off that first guy we were speaking about. And this is a 2-mana red elemental dog, so it gets the dog buffs. And you can pay 2 mana and it gets +2 till end of turn, so it's like a tiny Sheevan Dragon. Unsure where to place it. I think just in a vacuum, the card is like it's basically D tier, E tier, realistically speaking. It's technically understated, and I mean, it's cool or whatever, but I think the advantage that it gets is being a dog, but we don't really know what that advantage is currently, so yeah, maybe as more cards get released, it ends up being like super amazing, but currently I'm feeling E. So going along with the last card, we've got Alpine Watchdog, which is the other card that like red-white guy could search. And this is just a 2/2 with Vigilance. It's just a Greenwood Sentinel. Straight into the bottom, I guess. Like, there's really nothing that can be said about it. Just straight into E. It's just one of them. I mean, maybe like having a guy that can search 2 guys, but if those guys are ultimately kind of dog shit, then that's not really that great, I suppose. Wow, man, if you made it to the end, thanks a fucking lot. Hopefully you just enjoyed this overall discussion and review of the cards that are coming out. I know for a fact I'm super excited. So, you know, you might want to sub if you like, because we'll be continuing the spoilers for this particular set. Throw us a like and give us a little sub, that way you can keep up to date with the rest of the videos in the series. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Hey, so thanks for watching this video to the end, and again, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing and hitting the bell icon if you enjoyed it. And also, if you really enjoyed it, go follow us on Facebook and Twitter if you like magic memes, and go follow us on Twitch as well, where you get to watch videos like this happen live. And obviously, that means you get to interact with us as well, and we're pretty cool. You'll like us. Anyway, just thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.